when everything falls apart. 6 a.m. in Seattle. The city was already alive. Cars humming, people rushing. Another busy morning beginning. But for Jacob Freeman, this day was supposed to be different. At 30 years old, Jacob had everything most people dreamed of. As the CEO of a prestigious company, he had built a reputation not just for success but for kindness. He gave generously, treated people well, and rarely made enemies. But success came at a cost. For the past week, he had been buried in work. Meetings, flights, deadlines. His schedule had left little room for anything else. Even so, today mattered. His 10-year anniversary with his wife Rachel was approaching. And he had a surprise. After landing from a flight in Atlanta, Jacob stopped by a flower shop, picking out a bouquet of beautiful roses. He made reservations at the most expensive restaurant in the city. Nothing but the best for Rachel. Driving home, he hummed their favorite song, smiling to himself. Everything felt right. He pulled into the driveway, stepped out of the car with the roses in hand, and walked toward the house with excitement in his chest. He quietly made his way upstairs, ready to surprise her. He opened the bedroom door, and everything shattered. Rachel was in bed. Not alone. "Rachel!" Jacob shouted, his voice cracking with disbelief. "Why?" she gasped, quickly pulling the sheets over herself in shame. Then the man beside her slowly lifted his head. Jacob froze. "Paul?" His business partner. His friend. "Paul!" Jacob roared, rage exploding inside him. "I'm going to kill you!" Rachel jumped in front of them both, desperate. "Stop, please!" Tears streamed down her face. "You were never here," she cried. "Work, work, work. Always too busy for me. I was working to provide for us." Jacob shot back. "Well, now you can enjoy it alone," she snapped. "We're leaving. We're moving to Bellevue." Just like that, they walked past him and out of his life. Jacob stood there, broken, trying to process what had just happened. Then his phone rang. It was his older brother, John. "Jake, I've got bad news." Jacob closed his eyes. "What is it?" "Mom's in the hospital, and it ain't looking good." His heart dropped. At the hospital, everything moved too fast. A nurse guided him through the halls. He found John waiting. "How is she?" Jacob asked. But he already knew. One look at his brother's face said everything. She was gone. Their mother had passed from a heart attack. Tears fell freely as Jacob stood there, overwhelmed. Betrayed by his wife. Betrayed by his best friend. Now his mother, gone. All in one day. That night, he lay alone in his bed, staring at the ceiling, broken. The next morning, he forced himself to go to work. Same pain, new day, but something felt off. A meeting was called. Paul sat at the table, avoiding eye contact. Mr. Reeves, his boss, looked at Jacob with disappointment. "I thought highly of you, Jake." Confusion hit him. "What's wrong?" "A scam, tied to your name." Jacob's stomach dropped. Across the room, Paul smirked. Clicked. "You've got to be kidding me," Jacob whispered. "I'm sorry," Mr. Reeves said. "You're fired." Jacob packed his office in silence. Everything he built, gone. As he walked out, Paul passed by. "Taking my wife wasn't enough?" Jacob said, clenching his fists. "Easy there, con artist," Paul replied coldly. Jacob imagined throwing him out the window, but he didn't. He just walked away. That night, Jacob stood on the edge of a bridge in Seattle, looking down, thinking about everything he had lost. His wife, his mother, his career. What was left? Headlights approached behind him. A voice called out, gentle, calm. "You don't have to do that." Jacob turned. It was Faith, the nurse from the hospital. She had recognized him. They talked for a long time that night, about pain, about loss, about not giving up. Before leaving, she said something simple. "Come to church this Sunday." He went, broken but searching. And there she was, Faith, smiling, singing in the choir. The sermon that day. Not giving up when life knocks you down. It hit him deep. For the first time in days, he felt something. Hope. After church, they had lunch. One conversation turned into many. Days turned into weeks. And slowly, Jacob began to heal. Then the truth came out. His mother hadn't died naturally. She had been poisoned. The investigation led to someone unthinkable. John, his own brother. Driven by jealousy, John had orchestrated everything. He poisoned their mother for money. He hacked the company system to frame Jacob. He manipulated schedules to keep Jacob away from home. He even introduced Rachel to Paul. All of it planned. All of it intentional. The police gathered evidence, recordings, digital trails. John was arrested. Paul was fired. Rachel left Paul once everything fell apart. Their world collapsed, just like Jacob's once had. But Jacob, he rebuilt. Stronger, wiser, and no longer alone. Because through all the darkness, he found faith. And in time, they were married.